board in Community Street, Hamilton to interview Soar.
As well, Jesus.
We started off in 2001 by a group of parents who wanted their children with additional needs to have quality things to do in the summer holidays at that point. Before that there was a group which was again run by parents, and that took the young people out on outings every day. But these parents felt it was better to have a venue, a base which was familiar to their children. So they applied for some funding and it all took off from there.
Okay.
Any kind of support need or disability, so they would need more support than they would get in a mainstream group. They basically wouldn't cope in a mainstream group. And that helps the young person with their social skills, some life skills because we go out shopping and things like that, but it also helps from the point of view of independence because they get used to doing things without the support of their family. And we know from research that a lot of young people who have multiple support needs, which is the term they use, have more difficulty becoming independent than guys like yourselves. But it also helps the families because in the school holidays especially, that's a long time when children who need a lot of structure don't have the structure of going to school.
So how much does the child pay and what does that cost cover?
Children pay £15 per day, and that covers everything they do within the club. So we do tend to go out and about in the community a lot. The children tell us what kind of activities they'd like to do. And it's often activities it would be hard for them to attend if they didn't have support workers with them. And we have quite a big fundraising drive every year to raise money for covering activity costs. So they just pay £15 a day, they get a snack, they have to bring a packed lunch, but they get to take part in whatever activities are on that day.
Right, okay.
We've got too many buses. Because children who attend the group come from as far apart as, I think Lairg is the furthest north, isn't it? Lairg, Dornoch and all over the Black Isle. The feedback we get from families is that there's not an awful lot for young people to do in the holiday time, or even the opportunities for young people with learning disabilities to get together socially in the evenings, which is what the youth club does, are very few and far between. So the school holidays, there are things people just don't think about. There are some children who just can't stand the sound of a hoover. So doing housework in the school holidays, if you have a child like that, is virtually impossible. But if you have a day a week or 2 days a week that you know your child's going to be in good hands away from home for 6 hours, it gives you time to do your chores or to have some time for yourself or to spend time with siblings, which is also something that parents highlight as being very important.
And it's not just that your child's being safe, you know, your child's being safe and having a good time. That makes you feel better because you know your child's having a good time about going off and doing other things.
Any like future plans, if you had even more money, like would you expand where the kids can go and like what sort of stuff they can do?
Yeah, long term, if we can ever raise enough funding, we'd like to have a building of our own. Because at the moment we just use other people's buildings. We use Dingle Academy and we use the place and all this, which are great. But you're always a cuckoo in someone else's nest. So long term, in an ideal world, it would be good to have a purpose-built building.
Do you have kids with multiple support needs?
Yes, I have 2 children, 2 young girls, 14 and 16, who've been coming along to the club since 2006. And they've grown up coming to Soar and enjoying it, and that's why I've got involved and now work at Soar.
What is your annual running cost a year?
The annual running costs for Soar is approximately £110,000, of which £12,000 we get from fees. So we have to find almost £100,000 every year from grant funding. So we have to go to organisations such as Better Breaks, which is run by the Scottish Executive, Children in Need, the Big Lottery Fund, as well as the Highland Council to seek for funding to pay for that. If we wanted to charge each child's parents how much it actually costs to run it per day, we'd have to charge them over £120.
Oh, no,
That's not what, obviously, because of the high numbers of staff we have, it's a 1-to-1 on average, and the training we have to provide, which is over and above the assessments we have to do about safety and the care plans, the administration of medication, all of this has to be done, and that's why it's so expensive. But in terms of the big picture, providing that service is actually a very good value for money.
Yeah.
So how did it go?
Yeah, it went well. We got all the information we needed, and now she's got back and start a PowerPoint.
Yeah, they seem like really excited and really supportive of us as well.